Hey guys, today I'm here to make you dumb no more by talking about a concept that a lot of people don't seem to fully understand or grasp, and that it's on CT side being the anchor position. So exactly what is the anchor position? So let's give a brief example. So let's assume you and your team all spawn and you are waiting for your teammates to call out their positions. 3 of your teammates all decide to call out A and they rush straight towards the site. That leaves you and your other buddy to go towards B. So as you two are running towards B, your teammate's not communicating at all, and you notice he splinters off because you hear that break off for murder hole. So you go, okay, I guess I'm going to be solo B, and that leaves you in the unenviable position of holding B by yourself, thus making you the solo anchor for B site. So now what does that exactly mean to be the solo anchor? Well, that means a few different things. First off, that means you need to hold for as long as you can, as best as possible, taking down as many people that rush onto the site as you can. Often just a 1-for-1 kill isn't enough because you're going to be leaving your team in a hard position to retake B bomb site 4v4. Thus, you need at minimum 2, in my opinion, as they rush on out. But besides just that, you need to make sure you do not over-rotate. Hold your nerve. When you hear that enemies are hitting over on A site, as the enemies all smoke out and they smoke towards CT, they smoke towards jungle, they smoke towards connector, and they start rushing out with flashbangs over the top of A site, often what you're going to need to do is your teammates are going to be calling, they're hitting A, maybe even have teammates that are peeking over on top of ticket booth onto A site. And what you need to do is hold your own nerve and not get too cocky and over rotate, because for all you know that could be a fake. One of the biggest mistakes I see new players do, and even pug players nowadays, is when their teammates getting hit on A, they're immediately going to rotate either through store or they're going to rotate through cat to try to help out their team. And what that happens is maybe that it is an A hit and you're rotating and it is right, but it's the wrong play. Because what if they're not actually hitting A and they're only committing 1 or 2 players? And the rest of the team was hiding up in T apps, slowly doing a contact play, waiting for you to rush out so then they can bust onto B and take it for free. A 5 versus 5 retake is incredibly difficult. Even a 3 versus 5 can still be won by the T side because they can get advanced positions to catch people off guard, especially at lower ranks. Imagine if someone pushed all the way onto B, made it to store, and looked towards murder hole. All they have to do is wait for someone to crawl through, kill them, and then immediately fall back, and then it's a 3 versus 4. Even though you may have killed the 2 people faking on A site, now down in 3 versus 4 position, and you're walking into a death trap because you have to take everything slower. As you're trying to retake B site, you have to clear store slowly, so maybe you have to extend utility to come in and realize no one's there, or potentially someone is there, but he's just hiding away in a little corner, and you don't spot that. And then you go from a 3 versus 4 to a 3 versus 3 or even a 3 versus 2 because he was able to get a steep kill. Early rotating will not help your team out, so often you have to steal your nerves. So an anchor not only has to get kills as people are coming in, but be patient and not take the baits. So now that we covered what an anchor is, what exactly do you have to do? So first off is you need to position yourself wisely and not be predictable. If every single time you're playing up top on balcony and you're taking every single fight possible, the enemy's going to get wise to your tricks. And they might try to throw a pop flash to blind you, or they might all just peek at the same time and shoot you down. So you need to make sure you're changing up your position constantly on B site. Secondly, you need to be able to delay. As the enemy's starting to push out, try to get as many kills as you can, but use anything within your wheelhouse to delay them as best as possible. Maybe you still have a smoke, so throw down a smoke onto site, Molotov close left, and then you can isolate 1v1s to your right towards cat, or if they push close. Either of these 2 routes will greatly help you hold B site and be a good anchor player. Besides just that though, you need to be wise with your utility usage. At the start of the round, a lot of players tend to want to blow all their utility. Maybe they'll throw a Molotov towards apartments and then go towards cat to help out their teammates by throwing a flash. Well, that now will leave you with 2 utility if you full bot, a smoke and another flash or smoke in the HE. Thus, it's not wise to be doing this. What you're going to want to do is pace yourself. So maybe it's fine at the start of the round to stop a rush to throw a molly. There's no issue with that because you're preparing a preemptive measure against a rush. However, from there, what you need to do is play off of information. come up onto balcony perhaps and peek down towards apartment. Now the issue here is a lot of players might overcommit and take a fight. Again, what you're trying to do is delay. Once you see them, immediately fall back throwing a flashbang and hold at a better angle. If you see no push, then use the smoke to delay even more. But what you're trying to do is only use nades when necessary, off of a sound cue or a visual cue. But you don't want to be using it if you have no information. Even in terms of using the molly at the start, you're using it because maybe they set up a pattern of rushing B site, so you want to stop that rush. You're not using it just straight out of the gate because that would be a waste of a nade, especially if no one's there. Only try to use your nades in certain scenarios if there's a reason for it. Again, sound cue, visual cue, or if they set a pattern of consistently hitting B through rushes or at a certain timing. Now that you have kind of some of the tool sets of being an anchor, what's the mindset you should be taking into it? First off, it is patience. An anchor is often going to be in a bad position where he's holding by himself on site in unfavorable positions. So he needs to have the mindset that his team might not be there to help him out. Thus, you need to do everything to benefit your team, even at the detriment of yourself. If you're unable to get the kills because you're not that skilled of a player, that's fine, because you can still be impactful. Because again, if you're able to delay and be patient and use your mind a little bit, hear the sound cues and delay them as best as possible, or to juke them out. Let's say someone's rushing down to bench and you just juke them out as they're trying to rush around you. That's a great way to just delay every little possibility and get you a cheap backstab kill. Maybe he didn't notice you kill him as he walks down into store, and then you get killed by a guy peeking up on van. That's completely fine because you got a kill that you normally wouldn't get because your skill sets don't allow you to. You don't have the mechanical aim, but you're able to help out your team either way because you're able to delay and you're able to catch the enemies off guard. And that's also going to sow disconnect within the enemy team. So keep that in mind whenever you're playing anchor. It's an unenviable position. It's probably one of the worst jobs in Counter-Strike, especially at the pug level, because a lot of players often aren't going to recognize you for what you're doing. But if you're able to do it right, you're able to secure your team multiple rounds they shouldn't win, or in the very least, give them the opportunity to win rounds when usually it would be a cold shut case. Hey guys, and for today's quick nade tip, all this one is if you're hitting a site, it's a smoke off stairs. So all you need to do is on this little stair position right here, jump up, look in between the middle of this little bar that's standing out, and look at this position right here. In between this little ledge and this plank right in the middle, just left click throw, and what it will do is it will smoke completely off stairway. So that way your team is able to execute out without anyone peeking stair, and your team can also push out palace with relative ease. Go crazy.